Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. I want Welcome to episode 253, How to Drink Less During the Holidays. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Enjoy this week's episode. It's a recording of a live class that I did last week called How to Drink Less During the Holidays. Grab a notebook, a glass of water, and actually do what I'm telling you during this class and enjoy your holidays much, much more. Talk soon. Welcome, everybody. This is the How to Drink Less During the Holidays Masterclass. So before I can get into it, I just want to kind of go over a couple things. We have Coach Steph Tell. She's Steph Tell in the chat. She is a coach that works for me inside my programs. She's amazing. So she's here to support you guys inside the chat. If you have questions or comments or need stuff, she's here to kind of support you and keep an eye on the chat and make sure that I address all the questions when it comes time for me to answer questions and to monitor your activity in there. But she's awesome. Thank you for being here, Coach Steph. Hi. And we're going to jump in. But wait, one more thing. I want to know who's first. Is this your first class with me? Or have you guys been a repeat Angela attendee? So put first or repeater in the chat so I can kind of get a sense of everybody. Second, first. Hi, Jean. Lots of repeaters. First, hi. Repeater. First masterclass, repeater otherwise. Cool. Hi, Michelle. Well, welcome back, everybody. And if you're brand new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. For you repeaters, you know this story, but it doesn't hurt to be inspired about what's possible anyway. But if you're the first time here, I'm somebody who used to be an overdrinker. I had seeped into my culture of alcohol and overdrinking and partying and wine tasting and all the things. My husband and I got married in a vineyard in Sonoma, California. That's a picture of us on our wedding day on the top left there. And I was definitely the drinking ringleader amongst all my family and friends. Maybe not so much my family. I was probably on par with my family, but definitely amongst my friends, I was one like, let's go out one more bar, or would host the wine parties and things like that. And I really did believe that people who didn't drink were boring. I believed that my entire life until I found this work. And when I realized that that wasn't true, it totally changed everything for me in my relationship with alcohol. So all of this to say is if I can change my relationship with alcohol, you can too. And I'm going to be sharing with you today some of the exact tools that I use and still continue to use to maintain my relationship with alcohol. So this is a snapshot. These pictures kind of represent what my life looks like now. I love sunrises. I love going on epic sort of active adventures. This is me and my friend Anna hiking glaciers in Alaska. That's me riding camels in full glam in the desert in Morocco. So it's like it's a much more colorful life. You know, this past picture, like the common denominator here is drinks, right? Inside. No, I would travel and stuff, and I thought it was like I was adventurous because I would like go to fine dining restaurants and go to wine tastings and get crazy. But my life now is way more like memorable, and I do more interesting things, and I have more fun, and I have more friends, and my life is just completely expanded. So I also have, this business now for going on or just over 5 years now, helping women stop over drinking. So for this class, how to drink less during the holidays, we're going to be very focused on this season of the year, okay? And I'm going to give you a little bit of a refresher of why we actually overdrink and why it's hard to stop. I'm going to get into some really awesome tips for you to use starting today for the rest of the year during the holiday season when drinking seems to be amplified. And then I'm going to go over how you can work with me. So details on joining my live AF program or private coaching with me. And during all of this, I'll be answering your questions, and then we'll have time at the end for questions and answers as well. So close down your apps, turn off your notifications, and really just focus with me for the next hour, hour and 15. And like I said, it is being recorded, but it's only going to be on replay for 48 hours. So if you don't get to watch the whole thing, if you want to come back and revisit it, make sure you schedule that time in your calendar so you don't miss. All right. Thank you for being here. So before we dig into it, this is not a traditional recovery program. I don't help you get off alcohol. If you need alcohol to function or to get through the day, this is not the right program for you. If you feel like you need medical supervision, or if you really worry about having withdrawal symptoms, heavy withdrawal symptoms, that your health would be at risk, don't do what I'm telling you here. This is not the program for you. Okay. So is this you if you feel like a failure when it comes to controlling how much you drink? If it's a constant frustration for you, you feel like you start things, you don't finish them. You might read books or listen to podcasts. You try taking breaks, but it never lasts. You get stressed out easily and tend to overwork, overdo, and have a hard time being still or paying attention to yourself. You can take a couple days off drinking or maybe even longer breaks, but you keep falling back into the same cycle. You're scared of drinking less during the holidays because you don't think you're going to have fun, and you recognize that you always overdo it during these times, but also don't think that that is very fun. So you're kind of like, I can't imagine not drinking, but I hate how much I'm drinking. Anybody resonate with that? Wash, rinse, repeat. Yes, Molly. Yes, you guys are resonating. Okay. Yeah, so you're in the right place. If you guys feel like this is you, okay, you're in good hands, promise. Yes. Okay. So I'd just like to know, like, what's your holiday drinking story? Tell me in the chat, like, what happens for you with alcohol during the holiday season and then after the holiday season. So for me, it would always be like Halloween was the kickoff. And then I would like get real excited about making my Christmas cocktail. And I would always have wine. I was definitely entertaining a lot. So like I would definitely like allow way more weeknight drinking, heavier weekend drinking, hosting holiday parties, going out, all the things. And then by the time the holidays were over, I like even towards the end, I would be like kind of panicking that they were going to end. So I'd like get it all in because I knew that in January I would be like putting myself on some extreme diet or fast or hiding from everything. And it was almost kind of like this panicking end to the holidays. And I didn't really want to be drinking that much, but I was like, I better get it in now. And so then come January 1st, I would start some stupid diet and try to cleanse myself from all the poisoning that happened over the holiday season, but then it would creep back in. And then we would end the year the same way that it started. Out of control, moderate. I drink it up during the holidays. I drink every day and often as lunch as well as dinner. Once eggnog is available, brandy goes into my mug. Everything is festive, lots of events, drinks at all of them, and then drinking at home. Why not? And then I feel like crap until about January 6th and go back to my regular drinking. To slippery soap, December is wet December. More alcohol offered during the holidays. Drink up until New Year's. And then go dry January 1st and then start back up in February. Get it all in before dry July. Out of fucking control before I started with Angela. Drink on the sly, assuming no one would notice. Always hosting. Yeah. So a lot of it, right? I would also sneak it. So like if we had people over that I thought were judging the drinking, like my in-laws, I might pour it in a coffee cup and have it on the counter, and like was entertaining and like wasn't out in the open. So I know all the tricks. And I didn't really question that at the time. I didn't really like stop and be like, like if we're hiding drinking, I don't care if it's because I don't think they're cool or not. It's just something that you want to pay attention to. That should just be like, hey, what's going on here? Okay. Yeah, drinking so my sisters don't drive me insane. How many people here drink more during the holidays because of family? Everybody. Yes. Right? Just to tolerate it. Okay. How many people drink more because they feel exhausted and overwhelmed with all the shit that's going on and they just want to relax at the end of the day because they've been doing it all for everybody else? Reward drinking, yes. Not you, Jennifer. That was also an added layer. So there was the festivities of the holidays, but also the resentment that came from being the one that buys all the presents and does all the wrapping and all the organizing and the hosting and the planning and the coordinating. I felt a lot of resentment from that. And then I would drink, just be like, I deserve it. You used to do this, but so much better since I've been working with you. I'm so glad, Rhiannon. Well, I hope you all feel like you're not alone with this, right? Okay. So we're going to go over a couple things, why we overdrink, why it's hard to stop. I'm going to get into the holiday tips, and then we're going to look at the details in working with me further. Okay. So we overdrink because we're seeking to feel an emotion that we currently don't feel in the moment we want to drink. So specifically to the holidays, we're over drinking for all the reasons that you just told me, right? To feel more festive, to have more fun, to amplify the festivities, right? So those are sort of examples of like amplifying the good stuff, right? We want to be more, we want to have more party type situations. We want to be uplifted, right? That's still drinking to feel something that we currently don't feel. Okay. And then the other side of that is we're seeking to unwind, to de-stress, to take the edge off, those kind of like more, we call them negative feelings. And when you make decisions to drink from that place, it's always the volume is a lot more because we need to get to this desired feeling state that we currently don't have and that we want to have. That's how we're motivated to do it. When you're not drinking from an emotional place, people usually don't overdrink because we're not after the same emotional result. Okay. We unconsciously believe that alcohol is the answer to feel something that we currently don't feel. So if we're going into a holiday event, a lot of people are like, oh, this would be more fun if we drink, right? So we think it's going to make it better. That's still trying to make you feel something that you're currently not feeling. So if you imagine going to the holiday event and not drinking, what do you think you would feel during that event? Type it in the chat. If you guys went to a holiday event and you didn't drink, what do you think you would feel? Left out, nervous, you'd rather not go, awkward, bored, left out, edgy. Yeah, so not real great. Like, can you guys recognize like all these feelings that you're listing out here? So that's you're drinking to feel more positive emotions, right? Anxious. Yeah. So does that make sense what I'm telling you about why we're over drinking here? So when you drink to get to a desired emotional state, that we need a lot more alcohol to get there because alcohol doesn't actually create our feelings. Something that you ingest into your body doesn't create our feelings. Our feelings are created from our mind and how we're thinking about situations. And I'll get into that in a second. It's hard to cut back because first of all, we don't know how to deal with those feelings or be with those feelings, but there's also so much of the culture involved, right? We live in an alcohol culture. We don't have the right support with people who get it. So sometimes we want to rely on our family and friends to support us in our goals. And they're not trained professionals. And sometimes they don't know how to do that the best way that we need. And, it can be not helpful. We don't have a lot of ideas and creativity about what to do instead. So our mind just goes to that would suck. That would be boring. I don't know what I would do. Right. And we just kind of get stuck there. And then we don't fix the underlying reasons to why we're drinking. Instead, we just try breaks and fasts and abstinence in certain times or occasions. And then we just get right back to where we were before. And then really, because a lot of you guys have been doing this, and this is how it was, I overdrank for 20 years. We lose trust with ourselves. And that's why it's really hard to cut back because we don't think or really believe that we can actually do it. So we do these little attempts here and there, but underneath it all, we kind of have a lot of doubt about what we're capable to do. So now I'm going to get into the holiday tips. Does that make sense for everybody? Let me know if you have any questions about why we're over drinking and why it's hard to cut back. And it's not just a habit. All a habit is repetitive behavior. And habits are formed because of what I just told you about why we're doing things to make ourselves feel better or have more fun. That's why it gets formed, is because we start drinking from that place. So a lot of times, people start their over drinking sort of patterns when there's a big event in their life, there's a change, there could be a divorce, a death, a new job, a move, kids leaving the house, something like that that's kind of big. And we start using alcohol to cope around that acute situation. But then once that situation is over, our habit has been formed to drink from an emotional place. I'm seeing this a lot right now with post-pandemic. So a lot of people drank to cope with the pandemic, but now that the pandemic is over, we're still carrying on to these habits that we created in the pandemic. But if you think about how you were drinking in the pandemic, it's because you were probably bored at home or stressed out or worried, right? So those are all emotions that you were drinking from. And then now that we're not in it anymore, you've got a habit that's formed. And habits can be broken, just so you know, like these are learned behaviors that we can unlearn by applying what I'm going to be teaching you. So I just want to give you a little inspiration about what's possible. This is somebody that wrote in before Alive AF, which is my Stop Over Drinking membership. I drank 72 to 96 glasses of wine a month. This was 3 to 4 over drinks a week, not to mention about $225 a week spent on alcohol. And she wrote, I learned how to sit with myself, do an evaluation, and be kind and forgiving of myself. The beating myself up and self-hatred, but just as damaging to my mental health as the drinking. My present numbers are 12 drinks a month. I think that's about a 70% reduction. So I just want to show you, like, if you do this, it's possible for you to cut back, even if you're really like considered like a heavy overdrinker right now. Okay. So just hold the faith. Remember, if I can do it, so can you. Everybody that has had success like this has been exactly where you are. And remember, one of the reasons why we don't cut back is because we lack that belief in ourselves. I want you to practice believing that this is possible. So part of drinking less during the holidays is being intentional. Okay, so we want to stop making in the moment decisions around alcohol and think it through, that week. And I'm going to get into this a little bit later, but really looking at intentional versus unintentional. We've gotten here because of unintentional decisions. Okay, so unintentional is you're making decisions around alcohol that are in response to how you feel or want to feel relaxed, to take the edge off, to quiet my mind because I deserve it, to not be boring. So you're making these in the moment decisions to drink, usually because of how your day went or what you are doing socially, or if something happens that like went wrong or something unexpected happens. Okay, so that's unintentional. Where we want to be intentional. So you're making conscious and deliberate decisions around alcohol based on the relationship that you want to have with it. Okay, I want you guys to write that down or screenshot that. So going forward, I make conscious and deliberate decisions around alcohol based on the relationship I want to have with it. So you're going to think ahead to social functions, dinners, weekends, vacations, and you're mindful and thoughtful about what you want to do ahead of time, and you make a plan. So no more just unintentional, checked out decision making at the end of the day. All right. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to make a goal for what you want to do with alcohol during the holidays. Okay. So making goals is something that I'm a big fan of. So it's like setting your roadmap. It's like deciding what you want to do, and then we're going to make a strategy to go after it. Okay. So at the end of this holiday season, say January 1st, 2024, you're calling me up on the phone and be like, Angela, I did this. What is that? Right? So we've got half of November, got about 7 weeks left of the year. What would you like to do with alcohol during the next 7 weeks? And you would be happy to report to me on January 1st, 2024. And just some questions you can ask yourself. What do you want to do this holiday season with alcohol? Do you want to abstain? Do you want to drink significantly less, 1 to 2 a week, 2 glasses per occasion? Or do you want to drink more than you usually do? And this is not a trick question. You get to decide what this looks like. You are in charge of making these decisions, and you know what is best for you more than anybody else. So part of what I teach you is that you have the power within you to make decisions, and we got to stop giving our power away to other people to decide for us, especially with this stuff. So a good way to kind of check in with what is best for you is by closing your eyes. So everybody just kind of follow along with me. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. And then you ask yourself, what would be amazing to do with alcohol this holiday season? And you listen to that first little thought that comes up and notice how that feels. So tell me in the chat what came up for you when you did that exercise. Enjoy it, not medicate with it. Yeah. Ooh, continue to abstain. I'm on day 66. Nice. To not drink every day that I'm off during the holidays. Yeah. Drink at events, but not after a day of work. I want to go at least 3 days a week without alcohol, even though I'm on vacation. Be around it, watching folks enjoy, and abstain. You want to like your reasons for drinking. Okay. All right. So I think you guys, you don't have to follow through on what that little voice was for you. I recommend that's your intuition. That's your knowing of yourself, right? It's great to acknowledge what you think is best for you. And we can adjust to what you feel is doable for where you are with your relationship with alcohol now. But I think it's really important to hear that voice and acknowledge that you want to do something and listen to yourself. And then we can make micro goals or small adjustments to get closer to what came up for you if that feels good. So I already said this, but you get to decide, just decide whatever it is that you're going to be successful. There's no morality here if you drink less or more. Okay. Like that doesn't make you a better person if you decide to abstain. So let all of that go and decide whatever you decide to do that you're going to be successful and you're going to stay committed through it throughout the holidays. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a drink plan. We're going to take the next 7 days and you're going to make a drink plan and then commit to every week until the end of the year. You're going to keep making a drink plan. Okay. I recommend doing it on Sundays so that you set yourself up for the whole week, but we're going to do it right now together. Okay. So exactly how I have here on this slide, you're going to write down the days of the week and then you're going to write 0 or how many drinks you're going to have just for this coming week. And you're going to write exactly what kind of alcohol you're going to have too. So you want to be specific. This example could be a little bit more specific actually. So, you don't want to keep like a big open window. So you want to be like on Tuesday, I want to have 2 glasses of Cabernet between 6 and 8 p.m. You don't want to be like on the holiday or the big event day or something like that. Be like, I'm going to have 4 glasses of wine today. That gives your brain way too much wiggle room. It needs to like know very clear boundaries. Okay, I'm going to have 2 glasses of wine around lunchtime, and then I'm going to have 2 glasses of wine around dinner, like, between 12 and 2 and 6 to 8. That kind of specificity is very important. So go ahead and take a couple minutes and make your drink plan for the next week. Okay. And if you have any questions about that, just put it in the chat and we'll help you. Okay. Yep, starting with today, especially if you don't have a drink plan for today. Remember, we want to be intentional. We don't want to be unintentional anymore. So if you didn't create your intention with alcohol today already, no drinking tonight. Okay, no same day decisions going forward. I promise you, you will have more fun with that. Everybody's scared that it's not going to be fun. We're not going to be spontaneous. What if you get last minute decisions? Put all that to the side right now and imagine not having an over drinking problem. That's fun. Okay, promise. Yes, you're going to have to work through some urges. Yes, it's going to be some work. And it's going to be hard at times, but the payoff is way bigger than the couple drinks that you might have spontaneously when somebody pops over. Okay. Waking up clear-headed is so fucking fun. You are right, Andy. Okay, let me know when you guys good. Thank you, Steph. See, Steph has her drink plan already. Yes, good tip, Chasta. I like to plan what I'll have instead too. Great suggestion. So if you're not drinking, you could put hot tea. I do that on my drink plans. So I make a food and drink plan every day too. And I just write like tea, coffee, water, like I just write that on repeat on my plan every day. And that works. Mocktails, you guys, if you are gonna drink non-alcoholic replacements like non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic wine, or they've got all these new options now, I would put that on your plan too. Be intentional with that as well. We don't want to like get into the moment of, ooh, I'm having an urge, let me go pop open a non-alcoholic beer or wine just to get that urge down. We want to be intentional with that too, because we don't want to be replacing something and create behaviors that we have to undo later with that either. Okay. Do you guys feel good about your plan for the next 7 days? Let me know if you have any questions in the chat before we move on. Coach Chef will get you if you have other questions about that. So this was just somebody that they wrote in around their holiday. I had a very fabulous and successful Thanksgiving celebration with family. I honored my drink plan and all was well. This work is hard, but so worth it. When I can get to a hold of the why, it will reveal to me the thought and feeling combo that is driving my drinking and the other things I need to get working on. I'm so glad I said yes to this opportunity. Thanks, Angela, for guiding us through. So just imagine going through and having Thanksgiving or your holiday and not over drinking and like waking up the next day and feeling good and not being angry at yourself or tired or crabby. So now that we have our plan, okay, and you've decided that you actually want to cut back, I think that's really important for you guys to remember, like make a conscious decision about what you want to do here. Okay. You could also decide that you don't want to cut back during the holidays. You get to decide here. But what is dangerous, and like this is where we kind of break trust with ourselves, is like, I really should cut back on drinking. Why do I drink so much? And then you overdrink and then you beat yourself up the next day and you're like, I really got to do something about this. I'm not going to drink tonight. And then you drink tonight. And like that keeps going on. It's very damaging to yourself. That breaks down your trust and your confidence in yourself and your belief in yourself. So don't do that anymore. If you don't want to cut back during the holiday season and you don't want to actively be working on this, don't do that to yourself. Don't talk to yourself that way. Just be like, you know what? I decided that I wasn't going to cut back right now. And so I'm not going to beat myself up anymore. And then you just redirect. Okay. So just notice if you're doing that. Of course, your brain is going to tell you all sorts of shitty things after a night of over drinking. But if you haven't really decided to work on it, you want to remind yourself, I didn't make this a goal. So yeah, I feel like shit right now. That's just all that's happening is that I feel like shit. I drink too much. Okay. I'm not gonna be hard on myself and tell myself all these things that I should or shouldn't be doing when I didn't decide to work on it. Yeah, so everybody does that because you've done it for years, right? So that's why it's really important to really think about following through on it this time. So even if you fail or have an overdrink or don't stick to your plan, you got to be nice to yourself and be like, well, what happened? What could I do differently next time? And learn from it. And then just pick right back up and get back on your drink plan and keep moving forward. And then you'll start to build trust with yourself. It's not so much the worst part of breaking the trust with ourselves is what we do after we have an overdrink. It's not actually breaking the plan. It's how we treat ourselves after and the berating that goes on in our minds. And then the restriction that we put on ourselves. Okay. That's why we're so scared to try again, is because of what will happen after. And that is not very helpful because it doesn't motivate you. It doesn't feel good. And so usually what happens is we say, screw it, I'll just start in January. So I'm really asking you guys to not do that. So if you do have a slip up, it's okay. We're learning, right? Get back on it. Keep going. Okay. So besides all of that, we need to identify our obstacles. Like what do you think your challenges will be during the holiday season? So I have some examples here are unexpected invitations. You might have some urges. Your mind, our mind is our biggest obstacle. Overdoing it, over drinking, having a slip up and saying, I'll just start in January. Doing too much shit during the holiday season that you don't need to be doing. Saying that you'll be doing things, but you don't really want to be doing them or need to be doing them. Okay. So a lot of times we're overwhelmed and stressed out. We're taxed. We're working. Women mostly take on the responsibility for coordinating and planning and executing the whole holiday scene. And so you really want to take inventory of all that stuff and decide what is good for me to be doing here. Can I eliminate some of these obstacles by saying no to some stuff this season? I'm planning to do my holiday baking during the week after work, so I will be doing something I love to do without drinking. That's a great strategy. If you would find joy in doing that, do it. I would just caution you to you might be tired too, which is also a trigger for people. Like if you're working all day and then you come home and you have another long project where you're on your feet all day, just be careful when people are tired. Their mind doesn't make the best decisions. So just watch that. but I love it. Maybe have like a nice tea station for yourself for that to set up. Like think about setting yourself up for success, right? So if you're working long hours, this whole time change can be triggering for people because it gets so dark early. Think about what you're going to do if you get last minute invitations. You want to like think about this as your week is coming up. So you've got your weekly drink plan now. You don't need to worry about obstacles further than a week away at this point. Just take what's ahead of you right now, right? And be willing to work through those things and have a strategy for those things. And then when the next week comes, you're like, okay, I can deal with whatever comes up this week. And this is how I'm going to do that. But to come up with like the whole strategy for the whole season right now, that can be very overwhelming. And we're like, screw it. It's too much. Right? So there's a lot in one 24-hour period that you guys have opportunities to work through with this, right? So really, I want to talk about this for a minute or two, or maybe this could be a whole class. But like how many of you are doing too much? Like just in general, and then add in the holiday stuff. Like who feels thin and stretched during the holidays? Me here. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. So what are we going to do about that, guys? So Coach Steph, there's a really good podcast that I think you all should listen to as your homework. It's called You Get to Say No, Not Just to Alcohol. I made it last year around the holiday season. Coach Steph, could you find that and drop that in the chat? It was like in December of 2021 or 22. So what I recommend to do outside of this class is make a list of all of the things that you are responsible for or think you're responsible for. Okay. And then you want to kind of like rate the list, like write down everything: wrapping paper, tape, appetizers, special herbs for the turkey. I mean, everything. Okay. And then circle the ones that you love doing. Okay. And then circle the ones that you could hand off to somebody else or ask somebody to do, and then circle the ones that you can just say no to and just let it. We don't need to do that right now. Okay. Instead of just keeping all that shit in your head and then last minute, oh, I forgot it, like running around like crazy people, not asking for help. Again, intention is very important here. So who knows right now that they could unload some of their list for this holiday season? Rhiannon, yes, last year we got guilted into hosting Christmas at the last minute and it was miserable. I was so resentful. I already spoke up and said I wasn't doing that again this year. Nice job. Yep. When we do things we don't want to do, we get resentful and that does not feel good. And then we drink. This is why another reason why we overdrink during the holidays. So you guys can say no to people. We have a hard time saying no to other people. And it's time to learn how to do that. It's okay if other people are uncomfortable. You are way more uncomfortable and you don't have to take that on. You don't have to like sacrifice your own feel good feelings because somebody else is uncomfortable with what you are doing or not doing. Okay. They're adults. I'm not talking about little kids and stuff. I'm talking about adult people who are fine being a little annoyed or disappointed that you're not going to be doing that thing again. You love hosting, but you like the control. So Amy, like maybe we can let go of some of that control. Does that control drive you to want to drink? Having everything exactly the right way and perfect. And are you running around making all of the details? Could you let go of some of that and keep it a little bit simpler this year? Make that list. Listen, you guys, Coach Chef put the podcast episode in here. Click on that right now in the chat. That's going to open up in a separate screen for you. After this class is over, earmark that podcast and go listen to it. There's an exercise in there that you all need to be doing, okay? About how to really trim down the responsibilities that you have this holiday so you have more fun and you have more freedom and you take care of yourself. So we're going to talk about self-care. So you've got your obstacles identified, right? And now we're going to have to really prioritize taking care of yourself. So I recommend that you move your body every day. Walking is a perfect form of exercise, even if it's only for 15, 20-minute chunks at a time. Get outside, get some fresh air, and move your body. You want to drink at least 60 ounces of water every day. You want to get some good sleep. Start to develop good, soothing nighttime, healthy routines that are soothing and comforting for yourself. You want to have ample downtime and alone time. This is very important. I cannot stress this enough. You need to recharge yourself, especially during the holidays when you're doing extra things. That takes a toll. And when you get tired and exhausted, you become vulnerable to drinking because your brain isn't functioning at the highest level. So that's why we want to stay hydrated. That's why we want to take care of our body. That's why we want to get good sleep so that we can make the best decisions that are in alignment with our goals that we can. And if you don't take care of yourself, you open yourself up to this primitive brain that just wants comfort and relief. And so you've got to proactively give yourself that comfort and that well-being so you don't get so depleted. Does that make sense? It's not foofy. Like self-care is not about like getting a massage and going get, your nails done, although they're very nice. It's more about paying attention to yourself and treating your body like the beautiful vessel that carries you through your life that it is. Okay, you deserve attention. It's giving yourself attention and care like you would a child or a pet or anybody else who's in your life, right? You deserve to give yourself that attention. And especially when you're cutting back on drinking, this needs to be a very big priority. Sometimes carving out the time is so hard. It will be hard if you tell yourself it's hard, Amy. You're in charge of your schedule, yes? Or is somebody else planning it for you? You have to it's almost like you have to make an appointment with yourself or demand that you take care of yourself. It's not just going to magically happen. It does take intention. It does take focused energy, And so the people that do this drink a heck of a lot less. So I recommend a comfort station, setting up a comfort or a tea station at home with some nice, healthy, non-alcoholic drinks, teas, something that's right there and ready for you. So when you're tired or you're hungry or you've had a long day, you can easily access something that's comforting and good for you, but not alcohol. Okay. Think about your parties and bringing a fun mocktail or a punch, a non-alcoholic punch or a tea station to a party. Like support yourself and be an awesome guest that shows up with a non-alcoholic option. It is becoming more popular now. Tell them, Andy. So I actually wanted to read something to you today that somebody just posted in our Alive AF membership. Okay, she said, note to self, bring more alcohol-free drinks to Bunko. Last night we had our monthly Bunko. We have been doing this since 2018. I love these nights. They used to be all wine-based and someone had to be the DD or we took an Uber home to get someone's husband or teenager to drive us. Sometimes it was just a couple glasses, sometimes more. I have been really working on my social engagements and being alcohol-free. I've had some wins and some losses. Last night, I decided to bring my own alcohol-free seltzers. The host usually has sparkling water, but I like some more flavorful things I get at Trader Joe's. Anyway, I packed 4 so I can share. 2 things happened. 1, I enjoyed my drinks, and 2, everyone wanted my drinks. One person who is newer to the group and not my favorite actually asked why I didn't bring more. And I thought, well, she could have. The host usually hosts 100% too, so we rotate, everyone gets a night off. Anyway, most people didn't drink. There were 2 out of the 12 of us that did. I have to say that it's very different from 5 years ago. Another couple of interesting things. 2 people said, you look amazing. I've lost about 25 pounds over the last year and a half and work out regularly, but these people have also seen me. They said, your face, you're glowing. That is alcohol-free, my friends. Yeah. I was also telling another friend that I was tired yesterday, despite getting 8 hours of sleep. She said, what happened? You had so much trouble sleeping. I said, I quit drinking. She was actually drinking a glass of wine. And she said, you mean like none? And I said, yes. She switched to sparkling water. So did another friend who I drove there, and she had brought 2 bottles of wine to share. We are not alone, and our good feels rub off on others, and they want what we have. I'm so thankful for this group and this program. More alcohol-free drinks for our December gatherings. So that's just one night of what's available to you. People want less alcohol. They don't even think about, I don't have to drink at a party. Like it would never even occur to them sometimes. So be that person who gives them that option. It's way more accepted and welcoming now than it has been in the past. So thank you for sharing that. And she's here in the chat, Andy. It feels so much better in the morning, I swear. It does. So good. Okay, so we're going to talk specifically about social events now. So we are going to visualize yourself in the social situation, having a good time, engaging with other people, talking openly, laughing, having fun without over drinking. You actually want to see yourself like a movie in your mind in that situation. Okay. Practice thinking that you're going to have fun without overdoing it and have an exit strategy. You don't want to just like get a ride from somebody and go to a party or a restaurant and be stuck there for 3 or 4 hours when you're not drinking or trying to drink a heck of a lot less. One, you're probably going to get tired and bored because everybody around you is going to start drinking and, talking weird. And it just might be too much. So have an exit strategy, decide how long you're going to go and be responsible for getting yourself home. So do you need to schedule an Uber if you're not driving or if you're getting a ride from somebody? Take ownership of your exit strategy and decide how long you're going to stay. I recommend going early and leaving early. Just as you're getting your feet wet with this. If this is new for you, don't plan to go spend all night like you used to. Okay. So just go in for a little bit and then leave. And then the next time, go a little bit longer and feel what that feels like, learn from it and adjust. Okay. It doesn't have to be a permanent thing, but as you're getting going here, you want to take care of yourself. Okay. Oh, this program saved me. I'm so much happier and really living my life. Thank you, Angela and Steph. You're so welcome. The other thing you're not going to do is you're not going to worry about what other people will think. Okay, we're done with that. We're not 14. We're grown-ass women who can make our own grown-ass decisions. And if other people got a problem with that, that's on them. Amen? I want to hear an amen. Literally let that shit go. It does not serve you to worry about what other people might think about what you put in your mouth. Seriously. You're not going to lose your friends. I forgot all my same friends. I have way more friends now than I did before. Just be you. And if they don't like it, they're not your people. All right? That's it. If you find yourself worrying about that, don't. Remember what I'm saying. We're done worrying about what other people are thinking. We're grown-ass women to make grown-ass decisions. Okay? All right, good. Nobody cares. They're thinking about their own drinking. You focus on you. Also, what we're not going to do is we're not going to change your drink plan last minute. If you get invited to something unexpectedly, or you get freaked out that you won't be able to stick to your plan. Don't do that. That's an in the moment decision from your primitive brain that wants comfort. We don't do that. Okay. So screenshot this so you remember it or take your notes real quick. How do you not get resentful when you watch other people drink? I'm trying to think, Amanda, like what would make me resentful? Why would you get resentful watching other people drink? Tell me more about that. Oh, because you're depriving yourself. Okay. So is this not a choice that you're making for yourself, Amanda? You're choosing to not drink or drink less? Like nobody's making you do that, right? You get edgy. Okay, it's a choice. Okay. So when you overdrink, what are you depriving yourself from? Everybody should be answering that question on paper or in the chat. Sleep, rest, working out, trust with yourself, fun, clear mornings, less anxiety, right? Being a good mom. That's what you're actually depriving yourself of when you overdrink. So remind yourself of that. It might feel like you're missing out in the moment. Are you willing to pay that ticket so that you can get no deprivation on the other things? I'm willing to pay the cost of feeling like I'm missing out a little bit. 100% all day long. It's been over 5 years since I've drank now, but I don't feel that way anymore. I don't think I'm missing out on anything because I've gained so much in my life that would never be here if I didn't work on this. So hold my vision, hold my lifestyle, if that gives you hope of like what you're actually missing out on if you don't figure this out. Okay. I never worry about that stuff. I never feel deprived without alcohol. Sometimes if it's a social event and I'm like, you know what, I've got too much going on. I don't want to push myself to the edge. I'm going to be too tired. That's going to cost me my emotional agency and my energy. If I say no to that kind of stuff, sometimes I do feel a little left out or like I'm missing out. But I let myself feel that. That's not a problem. It's a normal human feeling. Let yourself feel like you're missing out sometimes. It's temporary. I'd much rather wake up in the morning proud that I got a good night's sleep. I've got my energy. I filled my self-care bucket. I'm ready to go. Yes. Join the membership. Yeah, it's like there's a cost to everything that we do. There's a cost and a benefit. Okay. So, like thinking about deprivation, if you drink in that moment, yeah, you're going to feel a little bit less deprived, but you're going to pay for it next day, right? It's going to cost way more than those few moments of feeling like uncomfortable, right? Are you willing to pay that ticket? In the moment, you're going to probably say yes, but don't listen. We don't make decisions from that place. Okay. We make decisions ahead of time with intention. That'll help protect you from that. Right. And then another good question in the moment when you're doing that, be like, I'll be depriving myself of the trust that I'm building with myself, feeling good in the morning, that solid relationship I want with my kids, clarity, and having more fun tomorrow. Ooh, anybody have suggestions for something to look forward to the day after a party that you can't do with a hangover? I love going on long walks in the morning, seeing the sunrise, going for a hike, traveling, whatever, like any shopping, like whatever would be amazing too. Like for me, I just wouldn't even make plans when I was over drinking like that. I would just like not plan to do anything because I would be tired and grumpy all day, right? Literally, you can do anything. Amanda hanging upside down. I wish I had a picture of you. Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So, are you guys staying with me? We're going to be intentional. We've made our goal for the holiday season. We're making a weekly drink plan. We're identifying our obstacles. We're going to start to say no to some things, right? And then the next thing is really practicing allowing your urges. This will be an obstacle for you. Okay. So if you're normally drinking a lot during the holidays, expect that you're going to want to drink a lot during the holidays. Like that's normal. So you're going to have urges. It's not a big deal. I promise you. So you want to anticipate that you're going to have some urges during this time. Don't be scared of it. It's just a vibration in your body. So what you want to do is like, I love this picture is like hand on chest, like you're doing a yoga breathing or a meditative breathing. And we notice you're wanting the alcohol. You connect with your body. So like touching your body is really, really, really helpful to ground yourself and remember that you're in a body. Okay. And you're not all up in your head. So you acknowledge that you're having an urge and you close your eyes, you take a deep breath, touch your body. Everybody practice that with me right now. Use your breath, relax your neck and your shoulders. Notice your heart rate. Notice if you're hanging on to any tightness in your jaw. Relax. Release. Just that 30 seconds. Who feels better just by doing that breathing? Did you guys do it with me or did you ignore me? I mean, I just feel like a way more calm, right? That's all allowing an urge is. You're not thinking in your head. You're focusing on connecting with yourself and your breath and noticing what's happening in your body and using your breath to relax and let go and release. That's all it is. Resisting your urges is like, oh my God, I'm having an urge. I really want this drink. Oh my God, you're clenching, you're like, you're not breathing, you're all up in your head. Okay. Allowing the urges going into your body, focusing on your breath. You got this. So just that's what you do when you will want to allow an urge. Is just breathe through it. Nothing's gone wrong. Oh no, my picture didn't come through. I guess I wasn't supposed to share it. All right. How to drink less during the holidays, our mindset. Okay. How you think about this is going to set you up to have more fun or a miserable process. Okay. So you want to look at the story that you're telling yourself around alcohol is fun or not drinking is boring. Okay. What you are saying to yourself up in your mind creates those feelings that we have that drive the action. So the act of drinking. Okay. So if you go into a holiday event and you have not cleaned up your mindset, and you go in there like, oh my God, everybody's drinking here. I'm the only one that's not drinking. This sucks. I'm boring. I don't know what to say. They're having all so much fun, right? How do you think that's going to feel? Terrible, right? Anxious, overwhelming, nervous, deprived, left out, right? Don't do that to yourself. You want to control your narrative here. And you can control how you think about things. That's a beautiful part of having a higher part of your brain and being a human. That's what sets us apart from other animals. Okay. We don't learn how to use that. So we want to look at our beliefs. So some old beliefs that you might have around alcohol is, I've tried this so many times before. I'm so sick of not following through. I don't want to bother anyone. I just don't care. It's fine if I drink. I don't trust myself. I need a glass of wine. Okay. And this one on the right here, these new beliefs that you could try believing instead. I don't want to stop believing in myself. I understand change can be hard and there's nothing wrong with me. I will not give up. I actually do care about how much I'm drinking. I can learn to trust myself. That's not something I need. Okay. So these thoughts on the right are very powerful and they're going to drive you in the right direction. Whereas these thoughts, if you don't recognize that you're having them and you kind of keep believing them, it's going to keep you exactly where you are. Okay. Your mind is very powerful. So you want to write down your thoughts, write down your stream of thoughts in your journal, uncover what you think about your drinking right now. Why do you like it? What do you say to yourself when you want to drink but didn't plan for it? What do you say to yourself when you have an overdrink? These are great questions for you to, explore in your journal at any given moment. But I would think about writing these thoughts down after this class is over or sometime this weekend, like sit down and like get quiet and like excavate what's in your mind so you can see what's in there. The first time I did an exercise like this, I was like, oh my God, no wonder I drink so much. I had so much shit in there. I was like, holy shit, wow. It just kept coming and coming and coming. So it's really important to get in there and see what's going on because it can have a big impact in it. They could be unconscious beliefs. You don't even know that you're thinking and running the show. And you got to be able to look at that stuff and get coaching. Therapy can help, journaling. There's all sorts of ways that you can look at this stuff, but this is an easy way to start. So this is me on my 40th birthday without drinking with my friends and having fun and being very proud of myself. And I have to share this with you. She's wrote, for the past 6 years, my husband and I have had 1 to 2 bottles of wine a night. I started to examine my drinking on many levels. One was a retirement budget. I literally had a line item for wine. I thought I would never be able to retire as I wouldn't be able to afford wine. I was tired, overweight, and out of shape and stressed like the rest of the world. I joined the program the week of Thanksgiving, made a drink plan for that day, and have had all the holidays since without alcohol. Christmas, New Year's, birthday, each week my desire to drink is overshadowed by my desire to not drink. I am not overthinking it. The chatter is quieter and the desire lives in the background. I'm where I wanted to be in my relationship with alcohol, which is occasionally having it. Alcohol-free weekends are my new favorite things. Even when I drank moderately, it was always on the weekends as my treat. When I removed the treat language, my weekends opened up. When I have an overdrink, I evaluate it and move on. My monkey mind is no longer in control. My true self is. So she believed that she couldn't retire because she wouldn't be able to afford her wine. That was a belief that she had that made a big impact on her finances and what she chose to do. And like seeing that, being willing to see that and change it opened everything up for her. The last thing I'm going to say about how to drink less during the holidays is to get support. So if you've been trying to do this on your own for anything longer than a year, it's time to get support. You don't need to be wasting any more time. Okay. Get coaching, join my membership, or hire me as your private coach for the ultimate support. Find a therapist who specializes in alcohol overuse. Like whatever you resonate with, do it. Like make a decision to figure it out and do something now. Join a group with like-minded people who are all committed to figuring this out. Surround yourself with people who want to make changes with their lifestyle like you do. Read books, quit lit books. Quit lick is it's just quitting alcohol literature. They call it quit lit. Um, so read books on people who have given up alcohol, listen to podcasts. My podcast is great. Stop over drinking and start living. Follow sober accounts on Instagram, and also consider limiting your social media feeds. Like I used to follow a lot of restaurants and bars and wineries and things, and I unfollowed a lot of that stuff just so I wasn't constantly like being influenced, you know? That media influences how we think and increases our desires and makes it on our mind more, and it makes us want things more. So clean up your social media feeds that way too, and you won't be pinged to keep thinking about it as often. Join Alive AF. Join Alive AF. Join Alive AF. This program saved my life. The amount spent on it was absolutely nothing compared to the amount of money I was spending on being miserable. My husband said it was worth every penny. I'm happy every day that I found this program, that I could tell it was different from other programs I'd seen, and that I took the leap of faith and did it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I'm going to read this to you too. And I was asked specifically to read this to you. And she wrote, last January, my husband was diagnosed with cancer and my drinking increased because I could not manage my feelings. I knew I needed help. It was shortly thereafter you started Live AF in the subscription box. I joined them both in March and stuck with the program for 7 months. I felt like I needed all of this time to figure it out and gain the confidence that I could be successful on my own. I use the tools you teach every day and have cut back on my drinking by 80%. Everything in my life is better. You have such a gift, and I don't want to forget Coach Steph. Coach Steph, you were there for me during a very dark and scary month where my husband was undergoing a surgery and then chemo and radiation. You gave me sound, caring, and doable advice. I did everything you both suggested, as well as the group members, and got through it. I think it's important for people to realize that this program takes more than a month or two. I thought I would only need it for 2 or 3 months, but found that I needed it for 7 in order to really be confident that I could make it on my and work on my own. I had a few step backs along the way, B- work, but I learned from my mistakes. Doing the evaluations after an overdrink or drinking off plan was huge for me. I know we have never met, but I consider you one of my favorite people. I'm so appreciative of you and your program. I jump at any workshops that you offer. So I love getting these messages. I mean, I was just sharing with one of my clients today, like getting this fuels me to keep going and to help as many people as I possibly can, because I know what that feels like. And I can't not like offer you guys programs and support and ways that you can work through this. And it's 100% possible. You just have to say yes. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable and stick with it, not give up, and ask for help. So that's what I got. Myra, the price is so reasonable. It's been so worth it. Thank you for making it reasonable to all. You're very welcome. Okay. We covered a lot. All right. Take a big, deep breath. You showed up. I gave you important information today. Hopefully, I showed you what's possible and gave you some real things that you feel like you can carry with you this holiday season. We're going to decide on our goal. We're going to make a weekly drink plan. We're going to allow some urges. We're going to prioritize ourselves. You're going to manage your mind and you're going to get support. Okay. Remember those things as you approach this. Like you can do this. And I know it was a lot. It's like, it could be like, now I got to do all these things. And it doesn't have to be that. You just have to focus on one day at a time and doing little changes every day. Okay. It doesn't have to be a big undertaking. I promise. You're already spending a lot of time drinking and worrying about drinking and over drinking and wishing you weren't over drinking. You're going to replace all of that time and do a little bit of intentional work every day. 15, 20, 30 minutes a day is all it takes. All right. So now I'm going to talk to you. Please feel free to write your questions. I will get to them, or Coach Steph will get to them in the chat, but I'm going to go over the details of the membership now. So it's the Alive AF program. So Alive AF, it's as F or alcohol free, whatever you want to think in your mind. It's your customized support kit. I have a Stop Over Drinking kit that I send out in the mail that's packed with amazing goodies, including a journal, a self-help book that I've read and personally applied to my own life, my favorite personal care items, a yummy, bougie sort of hard to find non-alcoholic beverage, teas, and more, everything selected by me. So that's the Alive AF box. And then Alive AF is our virtual Stop Over Drinking monthly membership. And that's going to help you apply what I'm teaching you, have the worksheets, have a course videos, have direct coaching with me, and be connected in a private community as long as you need to be. So this is the one-time support kit that we have available right now that is delivered discreetly to your door. That's what it looks like. This picture on the left here, it doesn't say anything about drinking. And it just has your shipping label on the outside. And I'm shipping these on demand. I'm actually getting ready to travel. So if you want this, like this coming week, order it today. Otherwise, it's going to be after Thanksgiving before I ship them out again, because I'm going to be doing some travel. So get it today. Thank you, Coach Steph. Click on the link, open it up, finish out the class, and then order it. As long as you get them in by tonight, like, 8 p.m. Eastern time, you'll be fine. Otherwise, they'll ship out after Thanksgiving. You like the box, Michelle? Yay. You liked it too, Julie? So good. It is nice. It's your self-care kit. It's like I am paying attention to myself. These are hands-on tools that remind me that I'm worthy of taking care of, and I can drink these other things besides the alcohol. So there's a candle in this box. There's a beauty counter product. There's my favorite teas, Harney and Son teas, which is the tea that I drank when I completely changed my relationship with alcohol. It's my favorite tea. It's so good. Okay. So inside is a little instruction sheet on how to use the box, and then a special message on the back for me as well. So it's a really fun kit to receive in the mail. And right now it's $89 plus tax and shipping. Tax only, I think, if you live in North Carolina, shipping is $10. And so this is the deal for people who attended the class today. And now I'm going to talk about the Alive AF membership. So when you join, bye, Amy, you're welcome. And then Coach Chef did drop the link for the Alive AF membership as well. So when you join, as soon as you sign up and pay, you get immediate access to the membership. So it's a self-paced virtual course that I've created, all the videos, all the content, and that provides the foundations to begin or continue your journey to stop over drinking and start living. There's live coaching and workshops and our community. So you get 2 live calls held over Zoom each month. The first call of the month will be a live workshop where I'm teaching you something. It's a little bit more hands-on and workshop style than this class. We covered a lot of information. So during our workshops in Alive AF, I focus on one thing, and then we really dive deep into that. So November, it's trying new things and learning how to have fun without alcohol. December is going to be a deeper dive into how to not overdrink during the holidays. And January is creating a new goal, and Dry January support if you want. We do fun challenges in the group too. So if you want to take a 30-day break and have the energy and the support of the group, we support that, but you don't have to. And then February is Radical Self-Love, which I love as well. So the second call of the month is a group coaching call where I bring you on and coach you directly about your situation, overdrinks, goals, relationships, whatever you need help with. I think when you join, you'll find that it's really not about the alcohol. It's about our life and the different areas in our life that trigger us to drink. And I coach and support you in having a different perspective on that and give you direction. And then we also have a private closed Facebook community for paying members to ask for written coaching, share successes, share obstacles, and that's unlimited support. So you can get as much written coaching as you want, every day if you want. We promise to support you during business hours, of course, but it's a great community to get support in between the calls. And then all of the recordings of the live coaching is available for 30 days, and the workshops are available for 1 year. How do you know when the live coaching calls are? We send out a schedule every month. At the end of the month, we let you know when the schedule is, and then we send you weekly reminders and 24-hour reminders. But most of the calls are on Sundays, unless it falls on a holiday, to accommodate for everybody's schedule. So sometimes I'll have it on like a late Sunday morning Eastern time. And then the next Sunday call will be like in the early afternoon, early evening time to kind of switch it up. We do send a lot of reminders. We also post in our community on the Facebook group. You're welcome. So you can access the portal, the membership portal anytime. It's very mobile friendly. It works well on the desktop as well. Doesn't matter where you live, what device you're on. It works great in all situations. Yes, Coach Steph is actually leading our call this Sunday, and she's very excited. So for those of you who don't know, Coach Steph was just like you. She joined I had a previous group program back in January of 2020, so long ago now. And she completely changed everything. And now she went and got her coach certification and she works for me. So like legit, anything is possible. And she's an amazing person to coach you and have you on your side too, because she's near and dear to this work because it was her life as well. I know it was like another lifetime. So it's a monthly membership. However, I recommend you commit to a full year to give yourself plenty of time to explore and change your relationship with alcohol. Let yourself go through a full year of season changes and vacations and obstacles and unexpected events and have the support that you need. So it's $197 to join, and then it's $97 a month for as long as you're an active member. And if you join now, and if I decide to raise my prices or change something later, you're always locked into the lowest rate that you signed up at. You're excited to join your first month coaching call, Kim. I'm excited to have you. So that's it. You can buy the box separate. You can join the membership separate, but you should join both to get the ultimate support. And we're enrolling right now. So you just sign up with those links. Steph, can you just put the link in again? And this is me, just for another little bit of inspiration, in Morocco last fall this time. I only knew one person and I didn't drink. And I had the best time. That was where I was on that camel. So it just seems crazy to think, like, even for me, and I did, I started this journey 6 years ago, that I do stuff like this now, like that I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go to Morocco. I'm not going to know anybody and I'm not going to even worry about alcohol. I'm like, it's wild. It's so cool. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So I want to help you get there. She wrote, my celebration is I processed some serious shit this week with my mind spinning crazily out of control. I journaled, got coaching, went out for walks, talked to some good friends, allowed myself to cry without judgment and other things that I'm not thinking of right now. Oh yeah, I did not drink. This is what we get to experience inside of our membership. It's super fun to celebrate each other. Another one from Raina. Your approach and methods took me from 10 years of daily bottles of wine to over 200 alcohol-free days in 2022 and successfully moderating on my pre-planned social occasions. Thank you, Angela and team SODSL. My celebrations, I stuck to my drink plan. I feel like I worked through a lot of stuff and did a lot of mental work this week. I listened to suggested podcasts from Angela and actually did the work she suggested, just not listened and nodded. So that is a key point. It can be very inspiring to listen to these classes, but the people who will make the changes are the people who are going to go do now and implement and take action. Be the person that does what I'm teaching you, not just absorbing information, not just an active listener. Be a doer and watch how everything changes for you. I have drinks on my plan for tomorrow and I'm ready to stop at my planned amount and journal my thoughts as I pour my final planned drink. I have really found myself practicing what a person who doesn't overdrink would do and maneuvering my new alcohol identity. I even have a mantra. What would Angela do? Thank you, Angela. Oh, Michelle, your first call's on your birthday. That's so exciting. Oh, Angela, you're truly a gift. You are so dear and clearly know your shit. You were the draw to join Alive AF. I feel very comforted when I listen to you. It's all good. You are human. Exhale. Thank you, Stacy. I also have a couple spots to work with me privately. So I don't know if you can get this, Coach Steph. You may not be able to grab that link. But if you guys want to write down that link or take a screenshot, I have like 3 spots left for private coaching, and that's an application only process. And we can talk about the details offline. But if that was something you're interested in, you don't feel like you want to do the group or the membership or something like that, private coaching can be a good option for you. Private coaching starts at $5,000, and that's a high touch private container between me and you with a high frequency of calls and support. So that's why it's application only. It's for people who really want to dive in and get to the root, and people that do it have amazing results too. It's sounds expensive first off, but it's 100% worth it. Thank you, Coach Steph. You get unlimited time, Rhiannon. You get me in your pocket. Yeah, you get a couple private hour-long calls, and then we get video and Marco Polo access so that you can reach out and ask for support anytime. I do have business hours in which I respond, but you can get unlimited video and voice coaching on that. It's super valuable. And then you also, with private coaching, you get access. It's included is the membership. So it's a great opportunity if you want to dive deeper into it. It's 3 months. Yeah, you're welcome. And you would be a great candidate for that, Rhiannon. We could even do something in person. So think about it. I'm open and flexible about what that looks like. Somebody that's one of my clients just signed up for private coaching, and she's coming down for a VIP day for the day. That's super fun. I'm open to talking through that with you guys. If you're interested in it, look at the application, fill it out, and we can have a phone call to discuss that too. But right now, you should all be joining Alive AF if you're not already, and getting your support kit. But I'm here to answer any more questions before we sign off for the day, besides all of that. You've worn that necklace for a while. What's the story behind it? So this was my word of the year, I think in 2021. And so this diamond under that little eye right there was from my grandmother's wedding ring. And she left it to me when she died because I asked for it like a total jerk when I was like 15 years old. And she had like 15 grandkids. And she said I was the only one that ever showed interest in it out of all of her kids and grandkids. And so she left it to me. And I wore it, but it was very tiny and very worn. And so I asked my mom if I could have it made into something. She said yes. And so I had her add the diamond into the little eye. And then when the jeweler opened up the ring, there was another diamond that was hidden in there. And so I had a necklace made for my mom out of it too. It's a beautiful story. I love this necklace so much. There's magic in our everyday. Any other questions I can ask you about how to deal with the holidays? Did I miss any questions that you wanted to ask me in the chat? If not, we can call it. Thank you all for being here. It's been fun. We're going to say no to things. We're not going to overstretch ourselves. We're going to make our plans. We've got our goals. You guys can do this. You're welcome. I love you all. Thanks for being here. I believe in you. And just reach out if you have any questions. hello@angelamascenik.com. And I can't wait to slap on all these shipping labels on these boxes that are going to go out today. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, bye, friends. I want you to check out angelamascenik.com/aliveaf. You know what it's like to have a desire to cut back on your drinking, right? You start to read books, listen to podcasts, try things, but you might not be able to yet put all the pieces and suggestions together in a way that actually makes sense and works for you. You might struggle with beating yourself up after an overdrink. You might get frustrated with yourself when you take 2 steps forward and then another 2 steps back, and get overwhelmed with what's right and wrong about your relationship with alcohol. Your friends tell you that you should be able to have just 1 drink, and it isn't a big deal. You might be white-knuckling through urges and resisting instead of peacefully processing them. And you might struggle with your identity as someone who has enjoyed having a lot of wine or alcohol in your life. It's around you all of the time. It's what you do and who you are. Well, after 5 years of successfully coaching hundreds of women through these struggles, I have created the Alive AF membership, where women like you can learn the basics on what it takes to cut back and reach your goals with alcohol, whether it is to just drink less or totally quit. And when you join, you will get the exact framework I used to change my own relationship with alcohol and still use today, that has led me to be alcohol-free for over 5 years. You're going to get access to my resources, videos, and worksheets that have been proven to change and reduce how much you drink. Every day you can ask questions, share your obstacles, and get coaching and direct support on the challenges you will face with love and no judgment. Also, you will get immediate access to workshops like uncovering your alcohol identity and changing it, how to say no to things that don't support your new identity or life or goals, aka boundaries. A workshop called Creating Emotional Agency, and another one, How to Manage Your Mind to Succeed at Your Goals, and more. Every month we have a brand new workshop. These workshops are filled with step-by-step prompts and instruction to help you create the exact relationship with alcohol that is best for you. My mission and vision for Alive AF is to be a hub of support and resources for women to come and learn how to do what is best for them and becoming more alive in the process. When you join, you're going to learn how to take care of yourself better, how to feel good and become more alive and go after the life that you really want. I want this membership to be affordable and an easy solution where you can get all the help you need in one simple place whenever you need it. So, no need to go read another book, find a new podcast, attend a free webinar, or go down the path of piecemealing it all together. Join Alive AF and have it all there in one place for you anytime you need it. So, go to angelamascenik.com/AliveAF and enrollment is open right now. See you inside.